So just getting back to our meditation, just keep settling. Feel the sensation of your sits bones in your chair, the weight of your hands in your lap, and align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And then just go to the crown of the head and release any tension there. And just relax your scalp, your forehead, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, back of the head, the jaw, back of the tongue, the temples. And just allow your shoulder blades to drop down, relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Noticing the sensation of the breath as you inhale and exhale. So just focus there for a few breaths. And then be aware of any sound in your environment, just allowing all the sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then just check in with your mind this evening. Some of you, of course, it's the middle of the day. So just allow all those thoughts to arise and abide. And just allow the stories to dissolve, the delusions to dissolve. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, ones you don't like. And due to impermanence, these relationships that you have can change. And just remember, they're all equal. They all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. And of course, dedicating the merit to this very precious Ganden Tripa. So then think, there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. And we have this one little section called refuge and another one called developing compassion. So with refuge, we rely upon, we turn to Buddha Vajrasattva as a doctor. So we see him not as someone who can save us, but more as someone who can heal us. So we're relying upon his methods or his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we've come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And so the medicine we use is visualization and mantra recitation. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dina patita, Tita me boa, Situkaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita me, Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata A Hum Pe. Ambhadra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Safa Dina Patita. Trida me boa, Sitokaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra me Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. Ambhadra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Safa Dina Patita. Tita me boa, Sitokaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sabasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Seta A Hum Pe. Vajra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Safa Dina Patita. Jida me boa, Sitokaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Seta A Hum Pe. Vajra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Safa Dina Patita. Jida me boa, Sitokaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawasidi me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body. And except this time forcing up to the top parts of your body, all the negativity of your speech. So it's quite forcefully pushing it up and out. So you think all the negativity, all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking about people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Trida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Trida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Trida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita. Trida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sabasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you just, it's the same as when you flick on the switch in a dark room, that instantaneously. So all the light comes from Vajrasattva's heart, hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, not feeling like you're enough, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Tita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And then think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. And imagine the nectar flowing down, pushing out all the negativity of the body. And the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and just blasts all of the delusions. This is happening all at the same time. So try and imagine all of that as we recite the mantra. And this way, we're eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's really crucial. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So we have to decide. And this determination, this decision, this aspiration to refrain from harming is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So everything exists on the tip of the wish. Rinpoche used to say that. So just rejoice, first of all, in your efforts for sort of turning up in the middle of the day, very late at night. And then think about something you'd like to keep working on. Maybe you're just checking in with your delusions, jealousy, anger, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you have a technique like dissolving them as they arise. So your wish is to not act out on them, but also for them not to disturb you. So then you think about a way to sort of deal with them. So maybe that can also be, something, another way of working on your mind. So then you're not acting out on these delusions that arise. So often we think we're so completely within our rights, and maybe we're not. So let's just dedicate and conclude. And Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And so just think a little bit about emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. With great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies, completely good with intellect supreme, the embryo of earth sustaining beings, great embryo from which all Buddhas form, with emanation circles most diverse, the highest nature of all entities, supportive of all the nature of all things, with goals for all, with dharmas unarisen, supportive of the nature of all dharmas. Okay, everybody. I wish you all well. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche to return in person to this organization that he helped to start, and then for all of your own individual teachers